are back. And why are we back? Because we have another home workout for you guys. Poop, poop, poop. Today we're going to start off with 3 different movements in the warm-up. He's laughing, I'm laughing, she's laughing. Let's have a look at the one-leg calf raise, which is the movement we all start off with. Holding against that wall here to support for balance. Pressing up with that heel coming up as high as possible. And look at her on the way down, now she's controlling. She's like kissing the floor with her heel and immediately squeezing back up, keeping that leg fully extended to make sure the calf is doing the work. Can you let go of the wall? Is that possible, Daphne? You can't see it because of the camera angle, but she is letting go of the wall there. That's good. And she's doing a whole tons of reps here, although it's just 10 reps in the actual warm-up. Now let's move over to your regular area here. And let's have a look at our second movement in the warm-up, which is a lateral lunge. So you have your feet underneath the hips in the start. You take a leg, you bring it out, you squat to that side, and you push back up into the middle. Boom. Now what I do not want you to do here is go for a very deep type of squat and just sit and relax there and start all kinds of weird twisting and rotation. No. I want you to keep pressure on the outside of your knee. Press out, come back in. So use the lateral head of the quad to drive your body up and down. Nice, Daphne, that's good. Now, our third movement is a straight leg sit-up. Maybe we should show an injury option. Let's do that. Let's stand up again. Let's assume that you're here and you're like, lateral squats, I can join this class. Well, yes you can. Because we can still do woodpeckers. We can always do woodpeckers. So, instead of doing 5 lateral lunges, you do 5 woodpeckers on one leg. Let's start off, Duff. Here we go. Shaboom. Using a cross, so right arm goes to left leg. Well, right leg comes up into the air, connecting her heel to her butt to her head, being one nice and straight line there. You substitute every rep you have for a woodpecker. Okay, there was the injury option for the lateral squat. Let's get her on the floor with her leg straight. And let's first do the momentum-based straight leg sit-up. Using that upper body swing, reach forward, go all the way to the toes if you can. If not, it's probably be like the knees or something. Just reach up, get that sit-up action going. If this is too easy for you, you keep your hands next to your hips and you literally crunch your body up. Don't push on the floor, Daphne. Just leave him there. There we go. Be strict, right? There you go. Crunch that body up. Slowly come back down. Beautiful sit. And look how she's still hinging on the way back. She's slowly coming back down, reaching for the floor with the shoulder. I like that. Some good sit-ups. Yeah. We showed you 3 movements. We gave you a couple of injury options, also some level scaling. Now it's time to put them together in the warm-up. It'll be a 5-minute, is it? Yep. It's a 5-minute quality warm-up. You can always throw in an extra couple minutes if you have the time to do so. We start off with 10 of these calf raises per side. Use the wall if you need to. Then 5 lateral lunges to the left, 5 lateral lunges to the right, or switch. And then you do 10 repetitions of the straight leg sit-up. So Daphne's going to start with you guys in 10 seconds. So I think 3 rounds would be great if you can get that done. If not, I'm all game with it. All right, let's go. So 10 calf raises. So what I do think is really important is that on the way down, you try to kiss the floor with the heel instead of you just like fall down. Because you are in control here. Both legs are extended. As in, I don't care what the leg is doing that's off the floor, but the leg you're pushing through should be extended. So you're actually utilizing the right, not the right, but the right. You know what I mean? Head of the calf. There we go, 10 reps on each leg. And why are we doing these calf raises? You're probably asking. First of all, big calves, they rock, they're good. Big calves look pretty in when you're wearing shorts or like skirts or whatever. But also, because we're doing jump rope work today, right? Yeah, jump rope work. When we do jump rope work, you need to warm up your calves properly. There we go. But like I said, big calves that just look tough. That's good. Like a big back, big quads, and big calves, that's all you need to have. That's all you need to have. So 5 reps a side of the lateral lunge. Here we go. Go through all repetitions. Then upon completion of that, you go on the floor and you start on the straight leg sit. Daphne's going to start with the rough one, which is arms next to the body, right? That's good. So she is not using any form of momentum, just using that crunching moment of the abdominal muscles together with that hinging pattern of the hip. Coming up, leaning forward. Upon completion of the first 5, I'm going to allow her to throw in some arm swing to make it a tiny bit easier. Otherwise, her abs are way too much on fire before actually starting the workout later on. Here we go. Shaboom, boom. This is what we need here. Good. So again, we're looking for like 3 rounds or so to get through all in that 5-minute time frame. If you do more, that's also possible. If you do less than 3 rounds, It's also fine to just like cut the timer and complete all 3 because you need to get some quality work in before starting the intense part of the day. Meet you back in a second. We just hit our general warm-up. It's now time to throw in some mobility work to get you guys nice and supple for the actual workout later on. Now, we're gonna have 2 movements. Daphne is gonna start off with you guys, but before we start, you need to set your interval timer properly. Mine is at 9 intervals of 40 seconds of work, alternating with 15 seconds of rest. Those 9 intervals consist of 3 parts of 3 rounds. That's very weird, but 3 rounds of 3 intervals. Left groiner, right groiner, child's pose. Shaboom, you got it, follow along, and do the rest on your own. Bye-bye. Let's go in that groiner stretch in 10 seconds. So guys, in that groiner, what's important for me is this. Your front knee is positioned on top of the ankle. Here we go. Elbow is right next to the foot. Reaching down there, which is very good. Now, it might look different than what she is doing, in all honesty. But the idea is that you try to position your torso as close to the floor as possible. The Daphne is pretty relaxed in this position. Her back knee is far away. Her front knee is on top of the ankle. So that means the shin is nice and vertical. If you press that knee forward a bit too much, we're not getting the right sensation in there because we're looking to stretch the groin area, maybe even the back hip flexor a tiny bit. So we have 5 more seconds before we go into our 15-second transition phase. That's your 15-second transition phase. Slowly work your way out, go to the other side. Now, Daphne has very fresh knees, but just imagine you have old man knees like the man behind the camera, Kevin has, for example, and I have as well, the other Kevin. In that case, you can place something soft underneath your back knee to support because it shouldn't hurt the knee when being in this position. Now, if it's very hard in the groin area to do this, you can also use a hand to keep some pressure off into the floor instead of just laying there, but it's all up to you. As long as you just stay in the stretch for a good 40 seconds, be as passive as you can possibly be. Just lean, lean, lean. Machine. Yeah, that's another way of saying something, right? So after the last 10 seconds in this interval, we have another 15 seconds to switch, and then we go to a child's pose. 3, 2, 1, and 15-second break. Papa, get out of there. Good, good, good. Now again, same thing. Old man knees, get something soft to be underneath there. Now you want to make sure your knees are outside of your hips. When you're sitting, your feet are pointed backwards together. Now you're going to reach forward. But if you look at Daphne, her hips are still pressed down. So often I see people do that child's pose and I see their hips coming up and forward. No, I don't want to have that happen, man. I want to have your hips back and down in between the knees. So the knees slightly pointed out and your upper body is pressed into the floor. Great way of still opening up that groin area, also stretching the lower back and even the lats a tiny, tiny bit for 15 more seconds in this child's pose. We are on it for today, guys. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I'm getting ready for that intense workout with you guys. 5 more seconds. That was 1 round. Get you 2 more. I wanted to say at your own speed, but time is going to decide how long we work. So I meet you guys back after the mobility portion. Don't cheat on us. Tot zo. Okay, let's start with the actual movements of the workout itself. It has 3 different movements. I'll get to the format later if you guys don't understand it. Daphne is going to demo all of them. You're going to need just a bottle or a light weight. So if you have dumbbell or kettlebell, I would not recommend men to go over 16 kilos and ladies to go over 12 kilos for the fact that it's going to be a lot of volume in here, okay? So the first one is going to be this. You're going to have a bottle overhead. And hear what I say, in an arm of choice, you can switch arms as often as you'd like to. But what is fixed is that you're going to alternate forward stepping lunges here. Let's get a couple of reps in. So this would be rep number 1, and that would be rep number 2. And she's going to do this part of the demo, which is 1 arm up here, okay? Now, once you step forward, the back knee is gently going to touch the floor here. A nice little lunge. Good. Now, if this would have been 10 reps, it's going to be 10 steps. You can switch halfway with your arms. That's all up to you. For me, it really doesn't matter. I just need to see one side loaded while lunging, and I only recommend you guys to split it up evenly with the arms overhead. Now, let's say that Daphne has an injury that's not allowing her to do all of that knee bending action. In that case, she's going to go for a windmill movement. So she's going to have a wider stance. She's going to have one arm up in the air. She's going to just have the other arm kind of like on her leg. Bend from the hip, look at the bottle, slide down. Oh, that's on the underkant. That'll kind of break your shoulder. Yeah, here we go. That's good. Now, what she just did there is impossible for me. So let's assume the variation that I can also do. Because I want to join in this homework. I do the home workouts every fucking day, guys. Yeah, that's for sure. So you kind of like glide along your leg, touch your toe, come back up. And I do want you to try to keep a tight belly here. This is going to light up your obliques a lot, which is nice for the high volume workout we have. Same as I said about the lunges, you can rest it off, is to switch your arms, so the direction as well in this case, as often as you feel the need to do so. Split it in half is my advice. Split it in half. Now, second movement, get the bottle away. Hey, I know you've been missing these for a couple of days. The jumping jack. Let's go. Show it. Nice jumping jacks. Rest. Good. Now, if you have a jump rope, and she has one, you can also throw in single unders. Let's go, some single unders. Good. And then go into double unders. And triple unders. Good. She missed that triple under. You guys saw that? She tripped on her triple under. That's nice. So if you have a jump rope and you want to throw in that work, substitute the jumping jack rep range or 30 reps for whatever style of jump rope you're comfortable with doing in an unbroken set. Now, if you cannot jump due to an injury in the ankle or the calf or the knee maybe even, or the hip or the lower back or the shoulder or the wrist or the elbow, you can also go to a mountain climber. Long arm plank. One at a time, pull in those knees and try to get that rhythm going. That is good. Now, let's take a break there, Duff. That's good. So I don't want you to overcomplicate stuff in a mountain climb. Just make sure shoulders, hips stay in line, knees come in without the hips coming up. That's all we need to see there. Last movement is our sit-up. So let's go on the floor on the back. Now in this sit-up, I want your legs to be on the floor, but your knees bent. You're going to reach back with the arms behind your head. You're going to come up. You're going to touch your toes or your heels. Whatever you feel comfortable with doing so. Nice action there. Make sure you try to fold yourself around the belly button. There we go. Good sit-ups. Now, I'm going to explain the format to you guys. We just showed you 3 movements. It's going to go the following way. We're going to have a timer running for 15 minutes in total. We're going to have a classic buy-in. A buy-in means you do a certain amount of work, and after that, you don't have to come back to it. In our case, it is starting with the bottle overhead, whatever arm you're using, and then 50 alternating lunge steps. 50 reps in total. Every step counts as a repetition. Upon completion of the 50, there's, for example, an amount of time left on the clock, let's say like 13 minutes left, and with that remainder, you're going to do an AMRAP. So as many rounds and reps as possible of 30 jumping jacks, 20 sit-ups, and then we keep that lunge in there with the bottom overhead. We do this 10 reps, so 30, 20, 10, 30, 20, 10, etc. Daphne's going to start with you guys, so we're going to have a look at 50 lunges, and you guys are going to start off with 50 lunges. Get that leg pumped before starting the intense portion right after. 10 seconds to start. So switch arms wherever you want to switch. In 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So the idea is you want to go through these pretty fast because they just take a lot of time of your workout, and you need to get a good score in this one because they are easy movements, intended to be easy movements. At the same time, if you rush these way too fast, your legs are so full of blood that it's going to become very hard to continue with, for example, a jumping movement right after. And we're doing jumping jacks after lunges, and after 50 lunges, when glutes and quads are on fire, a jump suddenly feels very weird. And imagine having to throw in the accuracy of the double under if you're doing that, for example. The skill of accuracy there, making it way harder. I think she's switching every 10 reps, is that correct? Yep. Switching every 10 reps, it makes it easy for you guys to follow. Because that means she's in the rep scheme of 20 to 30 right now. Slowly going through. And even though it starts out very simple, even if you ditch the bottle, it would still be rough to just go through 50 of these big steps. In Dutch, they call it uitvalspas for the Dutch viewers. It's an uitvalspas. Here we go. So this is rep 30 to 40. And as expected, she's going to probably do this in about a minute and a half. Yep. Ooh, timing is on the money here. So this is the last 10 repetitions she's going through. After that, bottle goes to the floor. And with the remainder of the time, she do the last switch. She likes to end even. That's good. With the remainder of the time, so like 13 minutes and a bit, she's going to go for that 30, 20, 10 AMRAP, which still includes those lunges. And now jumping jacks, they feel rough. Heart rate goes up now, which is great to see. If you have a rope at home, this is going to become jump rope work. 30 reps of the jumping jack. Upon completion of 30, you go on the floor and you're starting your 20 sit-ups. Get those abs to fire. We did straight leg sit-ups in the warm-up to get that hinging pattern warmed up. That bending from the hip, and also get your abs to be activated. Now we want you to throw in that swing of the arms and get some high volume hip bending work in there. Nicely done. Behind the head to the toes. So 30 jumping jacks done. Now she's going to go through 20 of the sit-up. And the thing with the sit-up is it's very hard to speed up on the sit-up. So you always want to go unbroken and always want to maintain that solid pace. The movement you can speed up on in this AMRAP portion here is the jumping jack, but definitely the transitions. So going from one movement to the other, doing that fast is what helps you get a good score in this workout. And as always with these conditioning workouts, not stopping is also a good way of doing more work. Wow, that's rocket science here. I think she's closing to finishing up the set of 20 here. As always, I'm not counting. You at home probably are. Now she's done 30 jumping jacks, 20 sit-ups. She's now going for 10 of these overhead lunge steps. And although she's done 50 already, this makes it actually tough for just 10 because the legs are still filled with blood. That pump is still on, which makes it very rough to suddenly go to doing just a quick set of 10 here. It's just to maintain that pump in the legs that I need to see so badly. So 50 as a buy-in was done. 30, 20, 10 was done. Now continuing in that 30, 20, 10 pattern for 11 and a half minutes. Ooh, it's going to be spicy. You guys, good luck. Stretch out the glutes tomorrow and we will meet you back. Bye-bye.